Alright, quick video for you guys. It is just the start of August and it is boiling hot out, but it's a little bit cooler than the last few days have been, so I decided I want to come out here and start working on these guys. So this, you can see, obviously, is my wild strawberry plant that I have been wanting to propagate. You guys probably saw the last video where I talked about prioritizing the formation of runners. Well, I've got a crap load here, and all the stuff that I tried to do to get them to propagate didn't really work, and it was because, one, it was so hot, two, the location that I tried getting them to grow roots wasn't working for me. And it was a combination of the soil drying out too quickly on top of them not being able to get a firm connection. So what I did was I took them all, and there was less here when I did this. They just keep pumping out more and more and more. But I wrapped them around, stuffed them into the corners here, and then I filled it with some soil, which is going to help the main plant here for next year. Like, see, I've still got flowers popping up on this thing, which is kind of abnormal for this particular plant, but anyways. So I did that, kept it wet, and I've got tons of these little guys here with roots on them. See that? So what I've been doing is I've been separating them out here, and I've been leaving a little bit of the runner material on them. Let's see if I can show you one that looks good here, like this. I've got a little bit on both sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in these guys. And the reason I'm doing this is it's a lot easier for me to control the water level or the moisture level in these up here on the counter. And two, it's in the shade, so they should be able to handle the heat a little bit better. And so with that, I should be able to do, was it 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36 new plants. So a really quick way of multiplying these, especially since I've got, I've probably got like well over 100 here alone. And I'd say probably a third of them at least have roots on them. So 130 of them, 33, 36 cells, that should ideally work out for me. So I'll show you guys what these look like in a minute, but that's just what they look like right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm getting that soil wet. I'm just going to pop a hole, plop them in, make sure the roots get in there. And then what you can do sometimes is this material here, this really wiry material, sometimes, especially on the larger varieties that have thicker stems than these ones, these are really small and wiry, so they're twisty, bendy. But on the larger ones, especially your modern strawberries, these can get stiff. And what you can actually do is you can bend them and you can actually use them as staples to hold your plants down into the ground. That's why you have a little bit of material on both sides of this guy. So I can choose one to pin it down with into the soil. And sometimes if they're at the right angle, like this one, I can just cut it probably about right here and then stab it down in, and that alone will hold it in place. So I'm going to get going on these guys here, and you'll be able to see what they look like in the next video that I'll pop up. It'll be real short, but you'll be able to see what it looks like when they're all done.